That's the first real image of the James Webb Space Telescope. It's a telescope alignment evaluation image, and yeah, today it's the astronomy picture of the day. Hey guys, so that's actually not the first real first light of the James Webb Space Telescope. There was also several alignment pictures published earlier. So as the James Webb Space Telescope, I did several first lights using my new APO telescope, and I already made several videos about the scope, and the last one was about a test report. And yeah, luckily we had several clear nights, and yeah, so I started several long-term projects. In total, I started shooting on 4 deep sky objects, and this video will be about the first finished one. So recently I had many first times or first things. So my first light using this APO, it's the first time I captured one object, deep sky object, or let's say several deep sky objects over several nights, over several hours. It was the first time I used N.I.N.A, the Astro software for my imaging, and it was also the first time I used Pixinsight for post-processing. So for this I used the Pixinsight trial version, and now you have 45 days and you can play with Pixinsight as much as you want for 45 days for free. And yeah, I tried it and I'm very happy with the program. And a spoiler, as I already mentioned, that's not just one project, long-term project. I'm doing 3 or 4 more objects, deep sky objects. So don't miss it, and I will show you this in the next video. So one of the long-term projects I'm doing at the moment, or this part I already finished, is the galaxy NGC 2903. I think it's a beautiful galaxy, and I have always been very curious to make a picture or long-term project out of this object. Okay, so let's start with the setup. So my first tip is you should really equilibrate your scope. That means in terms of temperature. So you should really take it out and wait for at least 1 hour, or better 1.5 or 2 hours, to really have a temperature balance here. And yesterday I really experienced how important this is. So I think in the afternoon I checked my mobile phone or the app, weather app, and they said, yeah, it should be cloudy and so on. And yeah, so I thought, I will not have a clear night. Okay, so I did not prepare anything in advance, and I did not do my setup and so on. So, and then I checked again, and it was still cloudy, but the night was clear, or I think it was 8 p.m. It was clear, and I checked another app, and then they said, it should be a clear night. So yeah, on very short notice, or very shortly, I did my setup. So I did not have my temperature balance. So the scope was out for maybe 20 minutes, and then it was already dark, and I wanted to do my astro shooting and so on. And then really I realized after 20 minutes I had to change the focus, because as you maybe already know, with temperature the focus will change. And 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, again I checked it, and I was surprised I was out of focus. Not just a little bit, but quite a bit. And yeah, so it's very essential to really have the temperature equilibrium or the balance that really all has the same temperature and so on. So this is tip number one. The tip number two, if you're also using a dedicated Astro cam, for example, as I do, so I'm using the CWO ASI 385MC color camera. It's a one-shot color camera, and yeah, first I saw that the cable is not long enough, right? So I bought a normal USB extension, and I plugged it in my computer, and it was boom boom. So there was a sound, yeah, connected, and then again there was a sound, so disconnected, connected, disconnected. So okay, so and then I thought, and I read about this, and I thought, yeah, maybe the cable is not long enough, so I used a shorter normal USB cable. But long story short, it's very or you should really buy a so-called active USB cable. That means you will have an amplifier here, which amplifies the signal. And the other thing is you should really choose a cable, active USB extension cable, which is as short as it can be, right? So first I bought a 7 meters active USB cable, and yeah, I had the same or almost the same. And then I bought a shorter one, a 5 meter, and this worked. And yeah, so my second tip is really to use an active USB extension cable for your dedicated Astro cam, and as short as it can be, really. It's really essential. So after the setup, I waited for darkness, and yeah, maybe sometimes you will wonder, yeah, what's darkness? When can I start shooting? And yeah, so I did a little experiment, and yeah, as you can see here, you have a histogram in N.I.N.A, for example, and this shows you, yeah, kind of balance between, yeah, light and dark images, let's say. And as you can see, with darkness, the peak will do a shift from right hand side to the left hand side of the graph. And you will also have a number which is equal to the area of this peak, or the mean area of the peak. And for fun, I just wrote it down over time. And what you can see here in the graph is when you reach the astronomical darkness, so as dark as it can be, the mean value of this area will be constant. So of course you don't have to make a graph and so on. Just check this value, this median value of the histogram, for example, if you're using N.I.N.A, and it should be constant. And if this value is constant, you will reach the astronomical darkness, and then I would start shooting. What I also did for the first time is polar alignment in N.I.N.A. And there's a plugin you can install for the free N.I.N.A software. And the problem is, maybe you have the same problem as I do. This is my north. So this is the direction of the North Celestial Pole from my backyard, or from my balcony, let's say. And you can see the problem, I cannot do the polar alignment. And here the plugin, N.I.N.A's plugin, polar alignment plugin, comes into play. And this is really great. So what you do is you orientate your scope in a direction where you have a clear sight, let's say, or where you can see stars and so on. And you press the polar alignment module on N.I.N.A, and then it starts shooting. Then it will plate solve this image, so it will determine the position of the stars, and then the scope knows where it's directed, in which direction it's directed. And then N.I.N.A will move the mount and make a second picture plate solving, and it will do this 3 times. And then N.I.N.A will analyze the data and will show you, yeah, you are certain degrees out or off, let's say. And then you just have to, yeah, play with your screws here on the mount, and that's it. And for me, it worked perfectly. So this is very helpful. So another tip I can give you is if you're doing the Astro sessions from your backyard, so every time it's the same position and the same location and so on, make some marks on the ground, and then you can orientate your tripod. And so you, or I will not disassemble my tripod every time. So I just have to place it on my marks, and that's it. And then now when I start the polar alignment in N.I.N.A, it's just minor changes I have to do to really be spot on with regard to the North Celestial Pole. So that's very helpful. And another tip I want to give you in this regard is to really use some anti-vibration pads. It's called anti-vibration pads. So what you will do, as you can see here, is you place your tripod on those anti-vibration pads, and it will really help you and will prevent shaking and start rates and so on. Because unfortunately I realized, since I have concrete and I have neighbors and so on, many pictures, I think at least 50% had some start rates. Of course, on one hand, you can have some start rates from time to time due to your mount, because sometimes the mount will move and then it will simultaneously make some pictures. So of course, then you will have a start rate. But this is just from time to time. The main reasons for those start rates were really vibration. And last night, when I really used those anti-vibration pads for the first time, I really could see some. Increased stability and less start rates. So I really recommend to use those. I think they were $30 or something, so it's reasonable. And I think $30 is really nice if you consider I had to delete, for example, almost half of my pictures just because of vibration, and this will really save you some time. So I really recommend to use this. What you also can do is you can do a so-called Rowan belt modification of your mount, and this will replace the gears for a belt system. And you can do it yourself, or you can send it to a service and so on, and this will increase your precision, and this will also decrease the start rates and so on, and the shaking and so on. So this is very nice. I don't have it, and I will not have it in the near future, I would say, but this is something you can maybe think of. So those are my tips, and I hope this will help you. But now I will stop talking and show you my first long-term project using my new APO, so one of the first lights. And it's, as I already mentioned, it's the Galaxy NGC 2903. And I did the post-processing in GIMP, a little bit in Serial, but the main part of post-processing was performed in Pixinsight for the first time. And here it is. So that's my final image of the Galaxy NGC 2903, and I'm really happy with it. It was one of my first long-term projects, and one of the first lights using my new APO. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. Of course, there's room for improvement. Yeah, I did this for the first time using Pixinsight, so of course I will improve this. But what I most probably cannot improve is at least some kind of noise, or some kind of some amount of noise, let's say, because I have a dedicated Astro cam, the CWO ASI 385MC color camera, and yeah, and that's very nice, but it has no active cooling and so on, and yeah, so the sensor will heat up and will produce some noise and so on. So that's a planetary camera for the most part of it, and it's it's suitable for deep sky objects as well, as you can see, but it's not perfect for deep sky objects. I will always have noise when I'm using this camera. So, but using Pixinsight, I was really able to reduce it, dramatically reduce the noise, and still have some nice details in the core of the galaxy. So I hope you like it as well. If you have some tips, please feel free, give me some tips. I'm always open for tips. And yeah, I hope you liked it. And I always like seeing thumbs up and new subscribers in this small community. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Clear skies.